March 1st, 2025. This is a day I'll be telling my grandchildren's grandbabies about. A day that went about as ordinarily as any other until, suddenly, around 5 p.m. US Central Standard Time, the most revolutionary video would drop on YouTube.com, revealing to the people that at long last, Sonic Unleashed had been released on PC. Not officially, but that makes it all the more of a W, I'm gonna be real. Never in the history of ever have so many prayers been answered all at once. Families were reunited, enemies sang as they linked arms, and all violence briefly came to an end. Not really, not an ounce of that happened, I'm sure, but the point is, history was made that day, damn it. Finally, something to be positive about for once. Out of absolutely nowhere, Sonic Unleashed was shadow dropped for PC and devices alike. How is this something you completely keep under wraps, and why would you even want to do that? I don't know, but them doing that only makes it seem like more of a miracle. This isn't just about Sonic, or how incredibly dedicated and talented Sonic fans can be when they really fucking want something. No, this is a revelation. We have the technology to decomp 7th gen video games. Sorry, recomp. There's a difference between the two. I might be losing some of y'all, so let's get on the same page here. A recomp is Skyth and his crew of wizards recompiled Sonic Unleashed to be playable on PCs. Snooze you lose, Sega. You had an opportunity and you let it slip. Never would I have guessed I'd be able to play Sonic Unleashed at 144 frames per second. I've been so used to an unstable 30 that I didn't even think the game could run any higher. You can turn off the Werehog battle music. There's quality of life, probably more than there would be in an official re-release. And on top of all that, this is a huge boon for the Unleashed modding community. With it being more accessible, the modding scene finna be crazy now. This is just one of those things that genuinely feels too good to be true. A part of me unironically thought I couldn't trust it. I thought I'd wake up the next day and it'd all be gone. But no, this really happened. I've held Sonic Unleashed as my favorite Sonic game for a while now, but that was just me going off of my memory, having grown up playing it as a kid. The last time I actually experienced Unleashed in its entirety is around 5 years ago through PS Now, where it didn't run the best, and I'd regularly disconnect because you could only play it via streaming. It was a butchering of the original Unleashed experience. From that point onward, I went to Project Unleashed through Sonic Generations, only revisiting the game's high points and not acknowledging what it took to get to those high points in the original game, which only muddied my perception of the game further. Eventually, I tried and emulate it, but it took me hours just to figure out how to get it to start up, and by the time I did, it sure as hell wasn't worth it. I gotta censor how poorly it ran, that's just how awful it was. I was about to give up. Gave up on pushing the rose-tinted narrative that Unleashed was my favorite Sonic game because I was forgetting what it even felt like to play the game. But then this happened. Finally, a reliable means of revisiting Sonic Unleashed. And yeah, I'm happy to say that I love Sonic Unleashed. And it is indeed my favorite Sonic game. The game is unironically healing my worldview, bringing me back to a time where I didn't know any better about the world other than what the game was displaying to me. Back to a time where I viewed the world through a more whimsical lens, where traveling was a straightforward process and people were accepting of other cultures and races crossing upon their land. Back when the world made sense, even if it was an unrealistic type of sense. Revisiting this game is having me tap back into a part of my childhood self that I haven't had the luxury to in so long, making it so that even for a brief moment, I'm not so jaded and hateful towards the world as it currently is. Life is hard right now, and it feels like almost anywhere I look there's hate, prejudice, and malice being pushed my way. I'm hesitant every time I even have to step out into public nowadays just because of the color of my skin. But this game takes me away from all that, and I wouldn't have been able to experience it if it weren't for Unleashed Recompiled. So thank you, Skyth. And thank every last one of you who contributed and will continue to contribute to this miracle of a project. I love Sonic Unleashed, man.